You want to validate your debt. You have the.
How do you do that? When you say validate,
validate is one of the words which comes from the Fair Debt Collection Practicing Act. It's 15 U.S.C. 1692G, and under there you have the rights to validate your debt. When some, really crooked debt collector sends you a bill and saying you owe so much money for this company, right, whatever. If you don't respond within 30 days, they say they will assume the debt is valid and you pretty much lost. This is one of the very crucial time when you have to just simply ask to validate your debt. Just say validate your debt. Mm-hmm. That will kind of stall their progress, and they will have to send you some kind of proof what they really own the debt.
Okay,
most of the time
they show you the proof. Okay, go ahead.
Most of the time they will send you a copy. Remember, copy of the copy of your note or promise or anything, or a statement. That doesn't prove nothing at all. That doesn't prove the possession of that. What they actually, the owner of the debt, and they can collect it. You have to demand, and every single time they send you this stuff, just simply return it back to them. Write it something on the piece of paper. Return for the cause without dishonor. Again, return for the cause without dishonor. Okay. Send it to them because you do not accept that. Why would you want to accept some kind of copy of a copy?
Right.
Or anything else? It's most of the time it's just a copy of or printout of the PDF file.
Right. Okay.
Don't accept it, send it back. Let them send you the affidavit.
Right.
What it's they're really in possession and what's they own it and the full statements. That's something which will really, really piss them off. I enjoy doing it to every single one of those debt collectors, man. I will call them 50 times a day, try to validate my debt. They will always hang up on me. Every single one of the debt collectors will hang up on me. I used to be arguing with them and stuff, and no, just stick to the one questions, validate your debt, produce the original documents, who is the owner. Just that simple. There's a lot of information on the internet. If you're really struggling with your bills, go to the library, start researching about it. There's a lot of help, where you can just get some kind of ideas how the form looks. It's very simple. Just send those just write it with your handwriting. It doesn't matter. But you got to do something. If you don't do it, who you going to blame? If you can't state your claims or your rights, who will?
That's true.
I know the lawyers, there is a difference between lawyers and attorneys. There's a lot of attorneys in this world.
You have to explain that because most attorneys consider themselves lawyers and most lawyers consider themselves attorney. What is the difference between the terms?
Another document which you must understand and read. It's called Uniform Bonding Code. Uniform Bonding Code.
What does that mean?
Okay, bonding is the most important thing. It's like insurance. Can you drive a car without insurance?
No.
Okay, so can you operate a business without the insurance?
No.
Okay, so the bond is the insurance.
Okay.
So it's insurance company has to be bonded, so they can pay the place. So once you get somebody by their bond, it's like grabbing somebody by the nuts. If you got their bond, there's nothing they can do because as soon as you have a claim against the bond, they have to pay.
Right.
Okay, so the Uniform Bonding Code must be understood by everybody. There is so much information there. It will really open your eyes to what's going on in this world. It's all this information there. In that document, I think in the paragraph 5, it explains who's the attorney and who's the lawyer is.
Right.
An attorney is the one who practices attornment. Okay. Attorment is the old English word pretty much, meaning to deprive you of your rights and maintain a class structure. That's comes right from it. I didn't write that. I didn't come up with that. They wrote it.
I'll tell you, it's very hard to believe some of this stuff. But I'm hearing it, and I have to play the. I'm not playing the devil's advocate. I'll never want to advocate for him. But I know that in the past it's been very difficult for you to understand. You see all this stuff and you say, "What's the use?" Because once I get it in court, they're going to throw it out. Now, has that happened before? I talked to someone from Hawaii on the same issue.
Yeah,
they were evicted out of their house because the person had made some claims, but did they ever talk to you about that?
I didn't talk to the. I mean, I talked to somebody from Hawaii. Oh yeah, I did, and there's pretty simple. You know, you just have to go and file some objections. Most people, I mean, that's what's happened to me. You know, I didn't speak English just 3-4 years ago. You know, I couldn't when I started going through foreclosures.
Right.
I went to court. I started learning about all this mortgage fraud, and when you tell the judge he can't do it because
he doesn't
it's
know
irrelevant because they play by their court rules. Right. You gotta file the piece of paper, and that's what matters. It doesn't matter what you write or wrong. It's just about the piece of paper.
Right.
It's been established by the Bar Association. Bar Association is, you gotta also understand, it comes from barristers. It all goes to England. Every single one of the attorneys who has the P number is actually treasoners. They're not obligated to anything what's to do for the United States. They all collecting the debt for Britain because Britain is the one who owns all the debt since 1933, and then it's a fact. Okay. Also, the American Bar Association. Mm-hmm. Why is every single one of the American Bar Association meetings is happening in Canada or any other countries? Why?
Well, I didn't know that.
Well, it's just something to point it out. This has been established long before. I mean, you gotta go back to Babylon. You really gotta go to the Bible to understand Daniel 2 and 3. I mean, you gotta read those prophecies to understand what's 2,500 years ago. It was explained to us what governments will come upon, and they will combine their own rules and laws. And once they combine all these laws, that's what we have right now around the world is uniform commercial code, is uniform this, uniform that. It's international laws, which was adopted from all these countries, which all it is just the rules.
Is that a part of trying to unite the nations?
Well, it's not only united. It was part of to actually taking over. Okay. Because every single, I'll point out another thing, which is you're going to have to do your own research. Okay. Why is your name spelled all capital letters?
Right.
You really need to start asking this question. It's not just because what you think the most educated people who sits in the government and makes all the laws, what you think they made a mistake, all of a sudden start spelling your name in all capital letters and forgot how to spell it with upper and lowercase or lowercase. Okay. I mean, you need to study this stuff, take it in consideration. What we're living in one of the last days. I mean, I'm not saying 2012 is the end of the world, by no means.
Yeah, but somebody's already.
But there is 2012 a very big possibility for beginning of the last 7 plagues, and I'll still stick to it because it does point it out to where the plagues will start in end of the 2012, and every single person in the world have to make their choices who they follow by that date. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean it's going to be happening in 1 second, everything, but there is going to be events, which is Revelation 16 explains, and Revelation 17 is written by the seventh angel, who gives the plagues. The Revelation 18 explains by the 7th angel. All this points it out to all these things will start happening during the plagues.
Now, you see this? Do you believe that's actually happening today?
Oh, it is big time happening. I talk to the professors right now. Of the astronomy and of aviation. They all saying what's our fact. This is the fact. Our poles shifting at speed of 25 to 50 miles a day.
Okay. So
it used to be only in 100 years, you would shift maybe 2 miles.
Okay.
Now we're shifting to 20 to 30. It's a dramatic number.
That the poles will be what?
Will be reversed. Why? Okay. Most people don't get the point. We're approaching as we. What's the December 21st, 2012 means what we're actually going to be crossing the center of our Milky Way galaxy. Okay. That's the actual point. It's called divine cross. And once you cross in that point, on each side of the galaxy, you have minus and plus.
Right, okay.
So and that's what we're getting closer to. That's why we all align it. Okay. Now, all the astronomers in the last few months been really watching Comet Elenin.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Comet Elenin was actually going to be crossing on October 16th.
Right.
Right by where we're going to be going.
Right.
And as they were watching at that comet, they actually found one planet right behind that
A planet behind
a planet, which I was telling you before, the planet Nibiru, which will show up.
But see, I'm amazed at how much, I don't know. I'm not saying I don't believe.
I know, but it's all this stuff. You got to do your own research. I have no reason to deceive you.
How can they determine that it's the comet or a
well, the comet is different. The comet is broken up. It's made of
ice. I know,
ice and stuff.
Ice and everything.
But as they were watching, you see, I mean, they come up with this again. The date of the October 16th or 21st is the end of the world again. This is the rapture. Now they're talking about the rapture. It's going to be on the 21st. I don't really see too many Bible verses talking about whether the rapture will happen before plagues. I really don't. I talked to a few pastors who actually mentioned that.
Figuratively speaking, the plagues? Can that just be a figurative?
No, the plagues. I mean, what was it? Figuratively speaking, the plagues in Egypt when Israel was walking out, or it was real plagues?
Right.
So that's exactly this. It's a wrath of God. Oh my goodness, man. I mean, I'm not scared of that because I know what the seal of God is, and everybody who has the seal of God has nothing to worry about. But those who don't have no seal of God, believe me, you're going to be going back to your worthless churches and really beating up that pastor who lied to you.
But this is amazing. This is amazing stuff. I mean, it goes on and on. It's almost beyond belief.
It is a huge thing that we got to be talking.
Why should I believe this?
Because it's the word of God.
Okay.
And everything will happen according to His plan, not to your plan or to my plan.
Has any of this stuff actually been, from what the Bible's account, has any of that taken place?
Yes, you got to go back to the, there's two things which pointed out in Isaiah 8:20. Okay. Isaiah 8:20. It speaks about if it doesn't speak according to the law and the testimony, there is no light in them.
All right.
Okay, which is pointed out to you. Well, there's two things you always got to remember. You got to remember law of God, 10 Commandments, and testimony, which means prophecy.
Right.
So everything has to be according to 10 Commandments and the prophecy. Then you get to the Revelation 12. The last verse, whereas the dragon, which explains again, it's a Satan who hates the remnant of the church.
Right.
Those the one who keeps the 10 Commandments and have testimony of Jesus, which shows in Revelation 19.
Right.
10 Revelation 19:10 explains for the testimony of Jesus is spirit of prophecy.
Right.
So the remnant will know the law of God. 10 Commandments, not 9, 10, including Sabbath, the one which talks about remember the Sabbath day. Okay, and it's a Saturday, not Sunday. And you gotta know, you gotta know the prophecy. How do you know prophecy? Well, we live in the 21st century. We got plenty of books. We got plenty of resources right now. Go back into the history. History cannot be changed. Compared to what says in Daniel, through the whole thing with the history. You got to know the Bible symbols. All the Bible symbols, I will point it out again on the screen. They are translated in the Bible. So you don't need to go to man and tell them, oh, please tell me what this symbol means. No, Bible translates itself. So once you learn the symbols, all you have to do just look in the history and see, wow, how did God knew every single thing what's happening? And it's happening according to His plan. Babylon right now is fallen. Look at the whole world. It's fallen. They do not know how to fix the economy because it's all built on Babylon.
When you say Babylon, so a lot of people think you're talking about ancient Babylon. What do you mean?
Is ancient Babylon. It was the land of the commerce. It was always. That's what you have right now. So the merchant law.
Modern Babylon.
Yeah. Well, the biggest problem with this world, what came up, and as I can see through my own experiences, is with credit. Soon